Hello, excuse me, Kim Preston here with the Center for Rural Affairs. We're going to talk today about Paycheck Protection Program and a little bit about how to apply and to get some forgiveness. We're going to start here at 12 o'clock, so we'll just wait for some folks to join us. Okay, we'll get started. I'm having trouble seeing the questions and comments on there, so I'm hoping that my staff will help me out with that. My name is Kim Preston. I am the director of the Center for Rural Affairs REAP program, which is the Rural Enterprise Assistance Project. Today, I want to visit with you about two things. First, I want to remind you there's a final push for the CARES Act program, Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP. Second, I want to talk about getting your PPP loan forgiven. That means that you make little to no payments on this loan. And SBA has laid out a very simple process, straightforward guidelines for you to receive this forgiveness. We have a couple of items for housekeeping. Let me know you're here by saying hello in the chat box. Please also ask any questions anytime in the chat box, and we'll try to get to them now, or at least we'll follow up after our event. And finally, you can visit us on our website at cfra.org, and you can also follow us on social media. We're here on Facebook and Twitter at CFRA, Instagram at Rural Nerd, and we're also on LinkedIn, where we continually will be sharing resources that we develop and promote events that we're hosting. Excuse me. So let's get started with the Paycheck Protection Program. The Paycheck Protection Program is a program of the Small Business Administration, or the SBA, and is designed to provide direct assistance to small businesses trying to keep their workers on their payroll. To apply, you will need to start at your local bank. Applications are accepted until August 8th of 2020. If you're having trouble finding a lender, please let me know. You can email me at kimp@cfra.org, and I can put you in touch with some possible lenders to assist you. Many sole proprietors and independent contractors have been left behind this program initially from the start, when it wasn't really clear how or even if these businesses would be eligible for this particular program. Also, with the extension of the IRS tax deadline to last week, many weren't prepared to apply. So today I'm going to focus our talk on 1099 contractors and sole proprietors. So let's start by calculating what your PPP loan request should be. So what you're going to need is you're going to need to pull out your 2019 tax return, and this is going to give you exactly the information that you need. So, as an independent contractor, your 2019 income is considered to be the sum of all of your 1099 forms that you've received, because this is what you pay your self-employment tax on each year. If you have filed your 2019 taxes, this will be added together for you already, and you can find that on line 31 of your 2019 Schedule C. If you haven't filed yet, don't worry. You can simply take all of the 2019 1099s that you received from the various people that you've worked for and add them together. That will give you the income number that you need. If you started receiving income prior to June 30th of 2019, you should divide that number by 12. If you did not work the entire year, even if you did not work the entire year, if you did not receive revenue until after June 30th of 2019, you do have a choice. You can still use your 2019 annual 1099 income divided by 12, or you can use your income from January to February of 2020 and divide that number by 2, whichever one is more favorable for you. Finally, you'd multiply that number by 2.5 and enter that amount into your loan request. Again, your lender is going to be available to help you with most of this application, but it does kind of help to have it filled out prior to meeting with your lender. And you can find this application at www.sba.gov. Or you can put in the comments here and we'll make sure that you get connected with the application. Now, sole proprietor. Sole proprietor will also need their 2019 net profit as reported on their Schedule C found on line 31. Your 2019 income is the sole proprietor's net profit. If you don't have a profit, I'm afraid that you're not eligible to apply for the PPP. If you've been taking draws out of your business to serve as regular income, this will not be included in your payroll calculation. This is because you pay self-employment taxes, which are based on your net profit only, not your member draw. You will find your 2019 net profit listed either on the annual income statement at the very bottom or on line 31 of your Schedule C if you have your 2019 tax return. If you started operations after June 30th of 2019, you will have to fill out a Schedule C for January to February of 2020, and then on line 13, you will only include 1/6 of the depreciation deduction that would normally be claimed. Bank statements for January and February of 2020 will have to be included with this application to substantiate the net income number. Divide that net profit by 12, or the number of months of profit, and then multiply by 2.5. Enter this amount into your loan request. Wow, that's a lot of ifs and buts and what ifs and do I even want to go through this whole process? It's a little wonder that small businesses can get overwhelmed and confused by all of the options that are available to them. Luckily, our program and our staff are here to help you. If you need assistance on this application or want to ask a question or two about your application of forgiveness for your PPP loan, you can contact your lender directly, or you can email those questions directly to wbc@cfra.org. This will give you a direct line to our consultants, our contractors, and our business development coaches who are very willing to help you get through this process. You also can type your requests into the chat box here on this event. Our goal at the end of the day is to make sure that you get the the assistance that your business needs. Now for the fun part, the forgiveness part. If you already have your PPP, this is where you want to start paying attention. If you don't have your PPP, you still want to pay attention because we want to make sure that you get your loan forgiven for as much as possible. So to get your forgiveness, you're going to apply directly to your lender. In order to get your loan forgiven, you're going to need to remember these 4 hot tips. When I say hot tips, I mean they're hot tips. Number 1, spend your PPP loan on the right items. That means your payroll, your rent, your utilities, and your mortgage interest. Number 2, spend it during the right time. That would be 24 weeks from the date the funds are received, not from the day you signed the papers or from the day you applied, the day that your funds were received. Number 3, maintain your employees and at least 75% of your total salary. And number 4, rehire any staff that were laid off or furloughed. And not only do you need to spend 60% of those funds on payroll, which can include your salary, wages, vacation time, medical leave, etc., and the other 40% on rent and utilities and mortgage interest, you also need to prove these expenses. So the easiest way to do this is to get your bookkeeping done during the time that you're spending the loan funds. Now, if you don't have a reliable bookkeeping solution in place, now is the time to get it done. Our business development team is ready to help you find the best solution for you. We can assist you setting up QuickBooks. We can assist you in finding the right bookkeeper to do the work for you. If you're savvy enough to do it yourself, again, QuickBooks is a great option. And many times an Excel sheet with those kinds of expenses detailed and the receipts kept are enough. But what you need to do is, since you're applying for forgiveness through your lender that you got the PPP from originally, ask them to be sure that you are keeping the correct records. Again, if you have questions or need assistance, our business specialists, business coaches are ready, and you can email a direct request at wbc@cfra.org. Now, your loan proceeds need to be spent within 24 weeks of receiving the funds. December 31st, 2020 is the final cutoff for all eligible expenses. If your loan is dispersed after July 16th, you will not have the full 24 weeks to spend down the money, so be aware of that. You must maintain the number of employees on your payroll. Now here's a formula to help you determine this requirement. This is going to be a little bit tough, so I want you to pay attention, and I can repeat it again. First, determine the number of full-time equivalent employees you had for the 8-week period following the disbursement. 2, determine the number of FTEs for the period from February 15th, 2019 to June 30th of 2019, or January 1st to 2020 to February 29th of 2020. What you're going to do is you're going to divide the number of full-time equivalent employees during the 8-week period following disbursement by the other two numbers that I said, the number of FTEs, the average number of FTEs from February 15th to June 30th, or January 1st of 2020 to February 29th of 2020. If either of these numbers are greater than 1, then you have met that requirement for your staff. If you do not meet, if it's not greater than 1, then you have not met the requirement, and your forgivable amount of your loan is going to decrease proportionately. So, hot tips for PPP forgiveness. Again, keep in touch with your lender that you're applying for forgiveness with. But number 1, spend your PPP during the right, or on the right items: payroll, rent, utilities, mortgage interest. Number 2, spend it at the right time, 24 weeks from the date the funds are received, not from the date of the application. So you have to have all of those expenses done before December 31st of 2020. Remember that that's very important. Number 3, maintain your employees in at least 75% of your salary. If you divide the number of full-time equivalent employees that you have during the 8 weeks after disbursement by the average number of FTEs from February to June or January to February of 2020, if that number is greater than 1, you have met the requirement. If not, your forgivable amount is going to be reduced. If you have any part of your PPP loan expenditures that are not forgiven, this amount is considered to be a loan by the SBA, and interest will accrue at 1%, and you'll have a 5-year repayment term. Now, you don't have any penalties for early repayment, so keep that in mind as well. Remember, the Center for Rural Affairs and REAP are here to help your business through this unpredictable time. Whether we're assisting you with a myriad of SBA options or coaching you through a loan application just to make sure that your business has the necessary tools to thrive, our staff is ready to assist you. We provide business coaching through one-on-one assistance as well as in the classroom setting. Right now, all of our assistance is being done virtually, and a link to our calendar events is going to be provided in the comments below. Established in 1973 in northeast Nebraska, the Center for Rural Affairs works to build vibrant rural communities. Since 1990, REAP, the Rural Enterprise Assistance Project, has focused on the needs and growth of our rural communities through business development services and access to capital. Again, one last social media plug: follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at CFRA.org. Instagram at Rural Nerd, and also on LinkedIn, where we are continually sharing our resources that we develop and promote the events that we're hosting. I'm looking over here and I'm looking at the comments. Hello, hello. And most of them are our comments, and I don't see any questions yet, but I can hang around for just a moment. I went through that really, really fast. I think I'll just repeat those hot tips for getting your PPP forgiven, since most businesses have received that PPP by now. Again, work directly with your bank or with your lender. Many banks are still eligible to apply through. Spend your PPP loan on the right items: your payroll, your rent, your utilities, and your mortgage interest. Number 2, spend it during the right time, 24 weeks following the disbursement of funds. And remember that all funds have to be used by December 31st of 2020. maintain your employees and at least 75% of your total salary, and rehire any staff that you laid off or had to be furloughed. There's a special process kind of with the staff. You need to offer them their jobs back, and if they don't accept their job back, you need to have documentation of that. Again, your lender will have that information available for you. So your number one partner is going to be your lender, but we're here to help you get the things together in case you need that kind of assistance before you see your lender. Look over here. I still don't see any comments yet. I can hang out. For about a minute or two. That went really, really super fast. There's a lot of stuff to the PPP, but it is a really simple process. Take the time to go see your lender, bring your taxes with you, and you can probably get the forms done right there with them. If you want to have the forms filled out prior to meeting with your lender, you can find them at sba.gov. If you just search for PPP or Paycheck Protection. Also document everything that you spend this money on. Make sure you can prove that you've spent it on the appropriate items, and your lender will be able to help you get that forgiveness application filled out as well. I'm not seeing any questions. I'll hang out for about another 30 seconds and then we'll head on out. If you need assistance on anything besides any of this accounting, our staff is available. You can make that request at wbc@cfra.org. We can hook you up with one of our business coaches, consultants who specialize in accounting or marketing or social media or hiring employees, just about anything that you can think of that you need assistance for. We're going to try to make sure that you get connected with the right resources. And I think we're going to call that a wrap. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. Let me know if you have any questions. You can put them in the comment box, or you can email me at kimp@cfra.org or wbc@cfra.org. You guys have a great day.